Hello everybody. Today I am going on a little adventure. Find my 1000th geocache. So I am, let's see, I'm using a new camera here. Selfie, gimbal, 1, 2, 3. And here I am. So I'm parked here in the desert, as you can see, and I'm walking past these Palo Verdes over to that hill right over there. I'm not good at this yet, so I'm just going to do it like this. Anyhow, here we go. Now you can see there's a lot of side-by-sides and vehicles have driven through this. And if it were to rain, this would turn into a great big mud hole. And what happens here in the wash, all the fine sediment, sand, dust, whatever you want to call it, lays in the low spots. And when people drive through it a lot, they break it loose from the packed dirt. You can see right over there on the far side of the road that it's the same kind of packed sand. And in the winter time, when all the snowbirds are here with their side-by-sides and such, Jeeps, other off-road vehicles, that they make a lot of trails. I mean, the trails are already here, but most of the sand is in that situation there and not this. Once you drive over this a whole lot, it will break down and end up looking just like this loose dust here. We are coming up on the hill here that's on the side of the wash. There is a geocache in a cave here that I have found already. And I will give you a quick look into that cave. And you go around the side here. Oh, look. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get there. Those look like some petroglyphs. Something has chipped away at that to make those marks a long time ago. And if I go around the corner here just a little bit, here is the cave that I spoke of. And we'll see how my camera handles this. I am unsure, but it only goes back in a short distance. And you can see there's I don't believe it goes back in there very far. And I am still standing straight up here, and I'm about this far into the cave. So as I pan around here a little bit, the light will change. You can see this just a cave in the rocks. And I do believe there are some more petroglyphs there. And we'll walk down here. There. See some petroglyphs here on the hill, on the rocks on the side of the hill. Okay, so here I am, and over my shoulder there, you can kind of see Flag Hill, which is the name of the geocache that I am going to. And I've turned it around. And it looks like it'll be a nice little walk up the hill. In an area like this in the desert, you wonder, what do the animals that live here eat? Well, I don't know how good Creosote Bush tastes, but here's an example. The mice will chew on those limbs right there. If I take you over to this Palo Verde tree, you'll see that here is a dead branch. It's all brown, but the live branches are all green inside. And let's see if I find some green branches here. If you look up there, I can't tell if you're seeing it or not. You can see where the mice have chewed on the green bark. They're peeling it away. Well, I'm not looking forward to this. I don't know, the camera really does it justice. It's a pretty steep hill. Here we go. I guess most people climb it with four-wheelers. There's more. All right, I gotta take a breathing break. All right, I've kind of caught my breath. Let's go up the hill the rest of the way. Whew. A little bit of a saddle here. I'm within about 200 feet of the geocache now. As you can see, there are some markers up here. And it says the geocache is right here. So, This geocache was placed by a woman I met this year. Her geocaching name is Silverheels. So, other than showing you the location of the geocache, I'm going to find it and I will show it to you after I find it. I'm not supposed to reveal where it is. Okay, so I found the container. Here it is. It is like an Altoids or a Sucret's tin. Let me get it open. And inside there's log sheets and some swag, trinkets and things. I'm going to have to put you down to sign the log. So that ends today's adventure of finding my 1000th geocache. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like it. From the top of this hill, let us do a little scan around. I am looking south here, and that is the direction of Yuma. If you see off a little bit that way, right there at the end, that is part of the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge. And KOFA stands for King of Arizona, which was a mine down at the southern end of that range, that mountain range. And then south of that is the Yuma Proving Grounds. And then you have the hills here. And there's a little town, whatever you want to call it, down that direction. This La Paz Valley. And then as I sweep to the west here, you can see there is another little community in the desert. It is an I forget the name. It's something like Rainbow Paradise or Rainbow something or Paradise something. And then those two little individual mountains up there, one of them is Dome Rock Mountain. I believe the one on the right, I'm unfamiliar with the name on the left. And then just past that to the right, you can see Interstate 10 as it passes over the valley to head down towards Ehrenberg to the west and the Colorado River. That mountain beyond the Interstate 10 there is part of the Colorado River Indian Tribe lands. And then I'm going to continue to sweep to the north there, and you can see all the four-wheeler trails around here, side by side, Jeep, ATV, OHV, whatever you want to call it. And as I sweep to the right here, to the northeast, that lone mountain at the end is called Q Mountain for Quartzsite. It's got the great big Q on it, outlined in quartz rocks in the town of Quartzsite. And then all the campers you can see in the valley before me is the long-term visitor area, which is known more by its acronym LTVA. And there are 4 sections of that. 2 close to town that are called the La Posa North and La Posa South on the east side of Route 95, and on the west side of 95 it's closer to town. It's called La Posa West, and Tyson Wash, Laposa Tyson Wash, LTVA. And I do believe that this great big wash that I just walked through and showed you is part of Tyson Wash. It runs right through the town of Quartzsite to the north side. And looking back towards the east where the sun is, my vehicle is parked out that way somewhere right just beyond the wash and the little basin in between, and back to Kofa. Yeah, I mentioned before the creosote. Here's a creosote bush. They get little yellow flowers on them when they're in bloom. When it rains, when the moisture content in the air gets high enough, you can simulate that by breathing on it and smelling. Another interesting thing to see in this area is what is locally called the bowls. I'll turn you around here. So there is my vehicle parked over there, and you see I walked in right there beside that hill, the cave, the petroglyphs, and now I'm going to take you down here. The geocache that's in that cave over there is a 2-stage geocache, and which means it's 2 parts. You have to find one part, and it gives you the instructions on where to find the second part. And the first part is right here by this ironwood tree. And the other interesting thing that's here at this intersection, it's kind of evident that Native Americans lived here thousands of years ago, and I think the standard estimate is 1,200 and some. I'm not dead sure. I am not an archaeologist, but this is what is locally called the bowls. Here we go. Now I can go down here and show you the bowls. There's one. There's a small one. There's another there. Here. And an extremely large one there. Bowls is kind of an inaccurate statement. It's more like a mortar, and I forget what the national park uses for these. The name for this phenomena, it is where Native Americans would grind mesquite beans and corn and whatever they had to grind. This is how they made their rough flour, so to speak. They would take mesquite beans and maize kernels, dry it, and then come and grind it to make cornmeal. And here you can see, there on that creosote bush is a little tiny yellow flower, and you can see the little white flowers. They have gone to seed. So when the yellow flower gets done, it turns into those little white puffs. There's a couple more over here.